What's up guys, Shawnthebro here, and in today's episode of the fighting game tutorial series we are going to be going over a really fun topic. This one is going to be making sure all of our widgets use the same navigation scheme. So over the many episodes that we have to date, we have had many different forms of menu navigation. Some were using keyboard, some were using controller, then eventually we upgraded it where you could use keyboard or controller, then we added mouse. But even still, a lot of these menus are using their own method, even though it's standardized now. That method gets implemented on every single menu. And I want to clean this up significantly by using our widget navigation interface that we made a while ago. So I'm going to go through every widget today that has navigation, and I am going to make them all use the exact same version of navigation. And then going forward, we will only use that version of navigation as well. This allows us to stay consistent and speed up our creation time of new menus and adding navigation to different widgets on a menu. Now, if you want to check out the entire series before you check out this episode and just get caught up in what you're seeing on the screen here, this is our fighter. We're in practice mode. You can see our hitboxes, our projectiles, our commands, all these fun things right here. I'll link you to the entire playlist in the top right corner right here so you can check that out. Alternatively, if you don't care about that and you just care about the menus and menu navigation, I do recommend you check out the episode where we made the widget navigation interface, because that is a super important one. We're going to be using it all over the place for today's episode. So if you are familiar with that, you will be able to follow along with us today. Now with that out of the way, we can go ahead and get started. This is a code and blueprint tutorial series. We're going to be cleaning up all of our blueprints for our widgets today that have navigation. We may also add a few inputs to our widget navigation interface if there are certain widgets that have keys we did not account for, and I know that there are a couple. I have all my widgets in blueprints, widgets, menus. We have a pretty big list here, so I'm just going to go through all of them one at a time. And if they have navigation, we will convert them. So starting with the achievement list. This is our list in our profile with achievements. It does not have navigation at the current time. Then we have the individual achievement tile. This one does not have navigation either. Then we have the achievement tile row. This is also not going to have navigation, but might as well take away some events in the event graph that we're not using to clean it up. We have our achievement unlocked pop-up. This isn't going to have navigation. Then we have our change control screen. This does have navigation. This is one of the very few widgets that we have moved over because we recently upgraded our settings screen significantly. So this one we don't have to mess with as long as you followed the previous episodes. If not, you can watch the other menus I'm going to modify, and you should easily be able to modify this menu based off of that. Now the next one is character select screen. This is going to be one of the biggest, so I'm going to skip over this and save this for the end. Let's go to the command list. We go to the graph in here. This is one that can be used while the game is paused when we're on our pause menu, so we did actually implement our widget navigation interface here as well. So there's nothing custom on the menu itself for navigation. So this one is another good one. Command list element is not going to have any navigation on it. Control mapping pop-up does have the ability to press a key and trigger it or handle it, but again, the control mapping pop-up is one that we already used the widget navigation interface for because our needs required it, so there's nothing in here that we specifically have to handle. The credits do have some controls on them because we can actually speed up our credits, slow down our credits, and return to normal speed. Then we also have a button to exit the credits as well. We can go to the class settings and scroll down to our implemented interfaces, and in here we can add widget navigation interface. Once we add this, we will be able to get the events we need to handle them. It's going to be a very simple system, so we are going to go wherever we want to add these events and start typing them in. Let's actually compile and save this so we get everything that we need. Event move down. We can add this event. We'll put it in here, and we're going to just copy everything that was in this event. So this is the event move down logic, which is just setting the scroll speed to a certain value. We can just move this here. So copy and paste that node. That means we can delete everything in this listen for input action. Then we'll connect the logic so that nothing is lost. And we want to do it to the next one too. This one is going to be when we're pressing menu up, which is event move up. we want to put this in here, and we want to copy this node or disconnect and move this node here as well. That way no logic is lost. We don't need this listen for input action, and then we can connect the rest of the logic. Then we have return to normal scroll speed, which is if we release menu down or menu up. We don't technically support release inputs on our menus yet, so we'll leave this one for later as well. Exit credits, however, is menu confirm P1, and we do support the confirm event, so we can go down here, event confirm. Then we can add all the logic that was in exit credits here, paste it, and there we go. We can remove everything from exit credits and this listen for input action and connect the logic again. Cleaned up significantly. Now we can go to the currency details. This is not going to have any inputs. Currency gained, also not going to have any inputs. Exit game pop-up, this will have some inputs. So if we go to the event graph, it is listening for menu left, menu right, and menu confirm. So you know what to do in here. We can scroll down and go to our class settings. We want to add the implemented interface for our widget navigation interface. Compile and save, and then we can come down here and say event move left, event move right, and event confirm. Then we can copy all the nodes that we need for move left, move right, and confirm. Now this first one is move left, second one is move right, and last one is confirm. So simple enough here, and now we can go up here and we don't need any three of these listen for input actions anymore. So we can just connect event construct over here, and the logic gets significantly smaller. So there we go, compile and save. Next is gameplay settings. This is a huge one that we were just tackling. We've already done it in here, but just be aware of that. Input device disconnected. So this is a little pop-up that occurs if we had an input device such as a keyboard or a controller plugged in, and it has been detected that it disconnected. It does tell us to press any input to connect it. However, this is not handled within the widget. It's handled within the player controller. So we don't actually have any inputs in there unless we can skip ahead. Again, the level select screen is going to be another big one. So the character select screen and the level select screen are going to be the two biggest. Loading icon. This is not going to have any sort of input. Loading screen. This is not going to have any input either. Main menu screen is a big one, but we can tackle it now. Let's go to event graph. So for main menu screen, we have menu up, menu down, menu confirm. We have a resume listening for confirm because we had stopped listening at one point during one of the submenus. We have return, which is exiting out of it. As usual, we're going to go to class settings, scroll down to implemented interfaces, add widget navigation interface. Then I'm going to go to where I want to handle these inputs. Compile and save, and then I can go menu down, and actually it's event move down. We want event move up. We want event confirm. And a return as well, which is our back. So event back. All right, we have all of these now. So up, down, confirm, return. Up, down, confirm, return. And since we did that, we can remove all of our listen for input actions. Now you'll see I've left one here, which is P1 menu confirm, and that is because we were listening for input actions of confirm initially in event construct, but also in this resume listening for confirm event. The reason we had stopped listening for this is because we went to a submenu and we didn't want to continue pressing confirm on the main menu screen. The specific example was the settings screen. So while we were changing things in the settings screen, we did not want to be modifying elements on the main menu. However, the widget navigation interface only handles input on the current widget. So when we're in the settings menu, it will be the corresponding widget, not the main menu. And thus we don't need to do this either. So we can keep the event for now. If we don't, we'll get errors. We can clean it up after. I'll just leave resume listening for confirm right here. And we will have to take it out of the settings menu to fully clean it up. But otherwise, I'm just moving everything over and connecting it. So that is main menu screen. Next we have match history. This does not have any inputs at the current time, so we can skip this. Match history tile, same here, no inputs. News pop-up. Now this does have the ability for us to close out of this news pop-up. So sometimes when we update the game, we may want little news pop-ups or update pop-ups to occur. And when these come up, we have the ability to either close them or take a look through them. Same as always, let's go to class settings, go to interfaces, add a new one, widget navigation interface, compile and save, go down below the logic here. We want event move left, event move right, and event confirm or event back. Now once we have all these in here, you know what to do. So this is going to be left, this is going to be right, this is going to be confirmed. So left, right, confirm. Get rid of these guys. Then we have return P1, which is our back. Now, additionally to this one, we also have the ability to select this button with the mouse. We have a close pop-up button on the entry, so I just want to bring that event down here as well to still support mouse controls, and something like that will do the trick. So now we can get rid of this as well. I'm getting an error when I remove return P1 because confirm selection of this menu was calling return P1 specifically. You have a few ways around this. You could just call your events here, so I can manually call event back, or I can call on pressed. Or if you want to keep the same logic that you had, you can make a custom event called return P1, so it's like you never really got rid of it. Connect it as well. And then in confirm selection, just call return P1, same as before. All these options work. Next is the player profile. The player profile does have the ability to change between categories and return to the main menu. These will likely get moved to the children just like the settings did, but for now it is in here and I want to follow this because it'll still be easier to transfer if we're using this method. So I am going to add my interface. Compile and save. We're using menu left P1, menu right P1, and return P1. So event move left, event move right, and event back. And we're going to do this for left, this for right, and this for back. So simple enough. Also note that on press back button is doing this event back logic as well. So if I am to move it over here, put it with the back button, we will keep our mouse support for this menu. Otherwise, we can get rid of these events and the listen for input actions. So there we go. Compile and save. Now we have the practice settings. So we're going to go to the graph. You'll see that we're not listening for input actions. In here, we've already handled our event move up and move down because, again, this is something that can happen when the game is paused, so we needed to do it for this anyway. Practice settings row is the individual element. It does not have any controls on it. Press any key screen. This is simply going to be listening for any key, and we do have an option for that in our widget navigation interface as well. So we can go to class settings, add a new interface, widget navigation interface, compile and save, event any key, and it does give us the key pressed as well, but we don't actually need that right now. So here is our listen for input action. We're going to take all this logic. Since it is only one, we could just kick this one out. If that makes it easier, you don't have to move anything over. Just make sure that you remove the listen for input action and keep everything else the same. But I am going to move it over just because I want to make sure we are doing it right, making it as clean as possible. So something like that will do the trick. Compile and save. Then we have profile statistics. This doesn't have any inputs on it right now. Saving icon does not have any inputs on it. Session list is our online session list when we're looking for online sessions. But this we did already handle with the widget navigation interface, so we don't have to change anything in here. Session list element does not have any individual navigation. Session list results pop-up. This pop-up tells you how many results were found, but it goes away on its own, so there's no need to add any inputs here. Settings screen is a huge one, but again, we just handled this in the previous settings upgrades. Side selection screen is something that I've created but haven't put in the series yet, so I'm going to skip it for now, but when this episode comes out, that navigation scheme will already be involved. The store item icon does not have any navigation on it. Store item pop-up has the ability to determine if the user is going to buy an item or if they can't because they don't have enough funds. So here we are listening for input actions, specifically left and right and confirm, just like the exit game pop-up. So we can do the same thing here. So we want our class settings. Add a new widget navigation interface to our implemented interfaces. Compile and save. Event move left. Event move right. Event confirm. We're going to copy, 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 and paste them all here. And there we go. So this means we can remove these listen for input actions here. Compile and save. Store row. These are the individual elements for the store or shop, but no navigation in here. The store widget is going to have navigation, so we can come in here and go to event graph. Now this one is more complex, like the main menu, so we can modify it the same way we did that. So we don't really need to worry about these additional listen for input actions that just bind the inputs to these actions. So starting off, we can disconnect this event entirely, and then we can go to our class settings and go to our implemented interfaces and add our widget navigation interface. Compile and save. Then we have to account for left, right, up, down, confirm, and back. So event move left, event move right, event move up, event move down, event confirm, event back. And we have left, right, up, down, confirm, back. So left, right, up, down, confirm, and back. Alright, that means we can get rid of all these listen for input actions, and we can get rid of the ones above as well. And then also note that we have on press back button, just like a lot of our other menus, this is our mouse input. And we don't want to lose mouse control, so we're going to bring this to our event back, which means we can get rid of this as well. And I'll keep start listening to actions here to not cause any errors, but we can get rid of that too once we remove all references to it. Now if we scroll down here to subtitles element, you have no inputs for this. Versus end pop-up. This is the pop-up that occurs at the end of a match. And we do have a few inputs here. We have up, down, and confirm. So same deal here as with the other ones. I'm going to go to class settings, scroll down to our implemented interfaces and add a new one. File and save, and we get our event move up, event move down, event confirm. Come up here, we have up, down, confirm. So up, down, confirm. And of course that means we don't need these anymore. Compile and save. Then we have the versus pause menu. This is just our standard pause menu, but because it is the pause menu, we can't use our regular navigation, so we are already using our widget navigation interface. Now what we have to do is go back and handle those events in the main menu and the settings screen, or the store widget that I had initially removed. So we have resume listening for confirm on the main menu, and you can see here in the settings screen we're calling it when we exit the settings. This was previously rebinding our inputs, which we had to do with the old system, but now what we have to do is just make sure that the current widget is set to the right thing. So when we exit the settings menu, we want the main menu to be the current widget. So we can actually just move this event to the end of event construct, where we're setting current widget to be self, and then when the settings menu calls that function, this will work. I renamed this event from resume listening for confirm to just resume listening. We can test this out, but there's other menus that we're going to need to handle as well, and the first one after that is the join session or the session list for our online gameplay. So we want to do the same thing here. If we go to the session list and go to where we're exiting out of the session list, you see at the very end we are getting the main menu screen, and here we want to call resume listening. I just drag off the cast of the main menu screen and call resume listening. I'll clean it up and put it in place here, and now we can test again, but the session list will now work. When we exit from it, we can navigate as well. The next one on the list would be the store. but not the store widget itself, the store confirmation pop-up. So when you're confirming if you want to buy an item or not. That is becoming the widget because we can navigate through the options on that, but then you can't navigate the settings menu when that prompt is closed. Or the store widget. So we need to go back into our store item pop-up and go to confirm selection when we're choosing what we're going to do in that pop-up. And you'll see at the end here we call the function to begin listening for the input actions again, regardless of our choice, whether we say yes or no. And so we need to go back to the parent widget, the store widget itself, and come in here and go to that event, which we put up above event construct. That event is called Start Listening to Actions, and we want to do the same thing in here that we did in the main menu, where we bring it to the section where we set the current widget to self. I'm also going to rename this to Resume Listening. And now we'll be able to test this widget, the store widget, as well. Everything in there should work now. Next on the list is the profile widget, so we need to go to the player profile. We need to do a very similar thing here, but the difference here is we don't have a creator widget or any way to reference the main menu. So we can add this by going to the main menu screen and going to confirm selection where we are creating the player profile. You can see the player profile is created here and we're adding it to the viewport. Other widgets we have this creator widget that we set up, and we're going to do the same method here. If you're not familiar, just make a variable called creator widget reference. You could make this a generic widget or just make it your main menu screen if you don't intend to go to the player profile from outside the main menu for now. Make that variable instance editable and expose on spawn so we can set it for each instance of the profile and we can set it when we're creating it. Then refresh the node and confirm selection where we're creating the widget. Pass in the reference to self. This will set it when we create the widget. And then when we are exiting out of the player profile, we are going to get our creator widget reference. I'm converting it to a validated get just to make sure it's valid before trying to use it. And then I am calling resume listening before removing it from the parent. Once we do this, our player profile should work as expected. Last but not least, we have the exit game pop-up or the quick game pop-up, and when we navigate there, we lose control of the main menu. Same deal here, we need to go to that widget, which is called the exit game pop-up. And when we're in here, we already have a creator widget reference, so we go to where we're confirming and exiting out of this pop-up. We go into confirm selection. And the section here where we were removing it from the parent, I want to use our main menu reference here to call resume listening just like the other widgets. We will handle the character select and stage select screen updates in another episode because I am going to have a part 2 to this where we do even further cleaning on all of these widgets. So now it is time to go back to the complex ones, which is going to be our character select screen and level select screen. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Shawnthebro. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and consider joining the Patreon, YouTube membership, or Discord subscriptions. It really benefits the channel, and I appreciate it so much. If you ran into any problems while following this tutorial or any of my tutorials, feel free to join the Discord community. There is a link in the description, and I would be happy to help you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Shawnthebro, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.